Hello and welcome to Ref Sports. I'm Gargi Raut, and while we await the first T20I between India and New Zealand, the final leg of the India-New Zealand series ahead of the T20 World Cup, we are going to start our show by talking about the recent developments between Bangladesh Cricket Board and the ICC. The last we heard was during our 12 p.m. live, which we did. We were live with you guys, and the latest that we had heard at that point was that PCB had sent a letter to ICC supporting Bangladesh Cricket Board. But what we are hearing now is that there will be a meeting at 5:30 p.m. IST, so that meeting must have started. But Bharat, give us the details. What's going on at this point?
Yeah, I've heard that from the sources, couple of sources that I cross-checked, that I've heard that they have been given one more day deadline, and that is basically to agree to play in India. Obviously, Bangladesh is sticking to their own stance that they wouldn't really want to play in India. Their matches, the World Cup matches, they wanted to be shifted to Sri Lanka. And if BCB doesn't agree, then obviously it is a clear indicator that they will have to withdraw from the tournament, and it will be basically Scotland, most likely Scotland, because because of the ranking. Although Jersey and Asa tribe will feel hard and by because they did better than them in the Euro qualifiers, but that is how it goes. So that is what I last heard. The last I heard was that they have been given one more day or grace period to agree to play in India.
And from what we are hearing, it is understood that ICC has told the BCB to inform the Bangladesh government that if Bangladesh continues to refuse to travel to India to play its matches in the 2026 T20 World Cup, then they will be replaced by another team at the tournament. That decision was followed by a vote where
Yeah.
the majority of the ICC board was in favor of having a replacement. BCB have been given one more day to come back to the ICC on its stance on playing in India. So that is what the reports are saying at this point. Obviously, we will keep getting more updates as the whole drama unfolds. Let's see what happens with it. But let's turn our attention to tonight's game as well, Bharat. As soon as we have Shomik, who is at the Jamta Stadium, he is in Nagpur, but obviously is having trouble with the internet around the stadium. As soon as he's back, we can get back to talking about the Bangladesh situation, whether or not he has some more information to add to it. But Bharat, from what we've heard from Shomik, it seems like there is a green cover on the pitch. How do you think? How are you seeing this, match sort of pan out? Because T20I side is the strongest for India.
Yeah, obviously we are sitting here and talking about it. So yeah, it might be a little bit of grass cover, but it also could be dry grass because what happens is curators these days try to leave a hint of grass cover, dry grass, so that the pitch doesn't break up. Or if they feel that maybe it's not watered much, if the curator feels that it's a little on the drier side, maybe for a week or so, if they hadn't really watered the pitch much, then what they would do is they would leave a little bit of dry grass to ensure that the pitch will hold together over 40 overs. So that could be the case because in T20 cricket, you don't really see much movement. Yes, in the South Africa India T20I series, in one of the games, I remember, was it in Dharamsala, where the ball actually moved around, but in Dharamsala, usually the ball moves around, that we have seen in the past as well. So most likely it is because of that they have just left a hint of grass cover to ensure that the pitch will hold together. But if the ball actually moves around, then I think New Zealand will come into the game because they have the wobble seam king, Matt Henry. If there is any movement, which is I think is the most difficult bowler to face at present. That is if there is any movement of the pitch because it's very difficult to decipher his wobble seam. I did a one what can I say technical analysis on his wobble seam, and it took me a long time, if maybe 5 6 replays to understand his wobble seam grip. So that tells how difficult it is when the ball moves around against him.
Okay, Shibam here is asking why Kishan bat at number three. He is top order batter. Number three is top order, Shibam. But I don't think he can go any more upwards than that because of obviously Abhishek Sharma and uh,
Sanju
Abhishek
Samson.
Sharma.
Sanju
Sanju
Samson.
Samson over there. I just completely, messed up the batting order in my head. But yes, Kishan at number three, Ishan Kishan at number three, Surya Kumar Yadav yesterday confirming that he's going to be batting at number three in the absence of Tilak Varma. How did you see this move, Bharat? Did you see that it should have been Surya Kumar Yadav who came at number three?
Well, maybe as a captain, he could have taken that slot. But Ishan Kishan, if he really wants to bat somewhere, it is, I think, in the top order because his game is quite suited to it. He likes the ball to come onto the bat. But having said that, as a captain, Surya Kumar Yadav could have come out to bat at number three, or could have said in the presser that I want to bat at number three because he's out of form. That should have told that he's making a statement that although he's out of form, that he believes or he's very confident of returning to form. But that is how it is. Ishan Kishan is going to bat at number three, but obviously can't bat higher than that, as Sanju Samson will have to open the T20 World Cup, and we know that two of them are going to open in the T20 World Cup. Then it makes obvious that those two will bat at the top of the order, even in this series.
Okay, more questions by Shibam. What will India do if they win the toss? I think bowl first, Bharat. I think that's the likely scenario here for the Indian captain. What do you
Yeah,
think?
most of the times that is what you see in T20 cricket, unless maybe if a captain feels that the surface is dry, then it would be better to bat first. Is something that we saw in the 2024 World Cup semi-final, which I think England messed it up by bowling first. But otherwise, as you also noted, that could be bit of grass cover, although it's a dry grass cover. So who knows? It might help the Indian seamers if they win the toss and opt to bowl. At least for the first 2 overs to move the ball around.
But I think the most important part to talk about here, Bharat, is the bowling lineup. How are you seeing it panning out? You'll have Akshar Patel in there, obviously the vice captain. You'll have Hardik Pandya, Jasprit Bumrah, Varun Chakravarti. Who are you going in with another pacer?
Yeah, I would like to go in with the other pacer, that is Arshdeep Singh, because I feel that he's someone who has that class seen. I was the same person who said that in one day cricket, the difference between someone like Prasidh and Arshdeep isn't much. But in T20I cricket, Arshdeep Singh is at another level, and I would like to have his left arm angle because in the first 2 overs, if he can knock over a couple of wickets with a little bit of swing, with a little bit of wobble seam that he bowls, and the angle that he has, then you can really put the opposition under a lot of pressure. So yes, I would go with him, but who knows? Maybe India will have Hardik Pandya be something that they've tried to in the recent past. Hardik Pandya as a second seamer. Then obviously it would come down to Bumrah and Hardik.
Okay. Um, Abha here is asking for first three T20Is, Ishan should be given chance. If in case Tilak is not fit, then Shreyas need to be given chance remaining two T20Is. What are your thoughts about this, Bharat?
I would say give the chance to Ishan Kishan over 5 matches because see if you're going to pick someone in the first game and then drop him after 2 more games, it doesn't really make sense. So they have decided Ishan Kishan is going to bat at number three, and then I think he has to be given the entire series to prove his worth, to prove his credentials, and he's someone who's in really good form as well. In the Vijay Hazare Trophy, also we saw even more so in the Saeed Mushtaq Ali Trophy. I watched a couple of games, and Ishan Kishan looked in blazing form. I think this is his time, this is his moment, and hopefully it will be his moment in the sun, and he would go on to score some runs.
And the other thing that I wanted to talk about here was Bharat, knowing Vidarbha Cricket Associations, the Jamta stadiums surface, do you think they could possibly go with a Ravi Bishnoi, or do you think Akshar Patel and Varun Chakravarti being there is more than good enough? Also, you have a backup spin option in Abhishek Sharma as well.
See, two spinners should be enough. I go back to the point that in T20 cricket, I would always like to have a left armer because it, because it brings that angle into the equation. What happens is, if you notice, left armers mostly will be bowling to the right-handers. It's not like you will have seven left-handers. Mostly you would get to face right-handers, and with the angle coming across, the right-handers obviously have to open themselves up and it's not so easy to line up a left arm angle from over the wickets. I think that is why I would always like to have a left armer in Arshdeep Singh. I think one of the key reasons for his success in T20I cricket, obviously he swings the ball. I understand that he has added that wobble seam, but I think one of the key success for his style of bowling is his angle. See, Bishnoi is a decent bowler. He was a decent bowler. Not too sure he's at that level somewhere in 2025 or in 2026, because he's basically has been decoded by opposition batters that playing him as a googly bowler. We saw that how Livingstone played him last year in a T20I game where he basically tried to take singles while facing those few skidders that he bowled, and he waited for that googly and he absolutely thrashed him all over the place in one of the T20 games. So that is how I think a lot of batters are playing him.
All right. What will be the playing 11 for India is what people are asking in our comment section. How would you pick your playing 11, Bharat? Do you think it's pretty? I think it's pretty predictable at this point. You just told us
Hey,
your bowling combination, and batting is, we all know what it's going to be. But give us
yeah,
your playing 11.
let me think. Say I have not seen the squad. Anyway, I will think of it. Abhishek Sharma, Sanju Samson, Ishan Kishan, Surya Kumar. Obviously, will have to bat at four. Five. Maybe I will think of Hardik Pandya
Hardik, yeah,
And Shivam Dubey at six. Rinku Singh as seven, though I feel that Rinku Singh, if she has to play,
should
then
be five,
but they like to play him at seven. So I think that is how it would be, because the Indian think tank have looked at him at number seven. So
right?
maybe him at seven, Aksar Patil at eight. I won't have Kuldeep Yadav, the kind of form that he's in. I think he's not imparting enough reps on the ball. Varun Chakravarti Saab, Jasprit Umrah, and Arshdeep Singh. I just added that because I think he's in the form of his life. So I would call him the king of spin bowling in T20 cricket at present.
All right. Um, Okay, so if we go back to the Bangladesh issue, Bharat, digressing from the India versus New Zealand situation a little bit, from the match a little bit, what do you think Bangladesh at this point will be able to do? Because I don't think, it'll be a good decision for the team, for even Bangladesh cricket to sort of pull out of the World Cup. That will cost them points. That will cost them monetary sanctions as well.
Yeah, there are two ways to look at it. See, that is from Bangladesh cricket's point of view, but you also have to see the public image at present. Based on whatever I've heard, obviously I'm sitting here in Bangalore, nicely in Bangalore, but whatever I've heard, there is a lot of anti-India sentiments in Bangladesh, and the current government also they are not basic. We can say it in simple words. They don't have a good working relationship with the Indian government or with India at present. So maybe they also want to do some posturing. Maybe they also want to play to the public image that see we have taken a strong stance or on those lines. So that is one of the ways to look at it. The other way, obviously, if they think about the cricket, then it will suffer. Why do you want to not play in the T20 World Cup? Because you're giving a chance to Scotland to come into the equation for no reason. Although Scotland didn't play well in the Euro qualifiers, they will get lucky, and you have to sit outside despite being one of the established members. It will cost you in revenue as well. So yeah, it will cost them cricketing wise, but they don't have much going for them based on whatever I've heard. They lost out in terms of voting today as well. So uh, what else can they do? I don't think ICC will at last minute go on to shift venues to Sri Lanka. Their second choice of maybe shifting the groups. That also doesn't really seem like a sensible idea, because why would the other team want to get involved in another group just because some other team is having some problem with another board? So both ideas don't seem to be sensible. But I think they're perhaps looking at the larger picture, as I noted, the public image, and they want to play maybe according to it.
It's unfortunate because at the end of the day, cricket, Bangladesh is an important part of cricket, obviously, the team. And Then you also have to think about if BCB actually goes ahead and pulls out of the World Cup, what does that do to the ACC? You already have very strained relationship with PCB, not only PCB, with the country itself. The geopolitical tensions between the two countries are already at an all-time high. Then you also think about what happened back in the Asia Cup, and now with the Bangladesh cricket and everything that's happening, you sort of start to think, or at least I'm thinking, what will be the future of ACC? Will it sort of dismantle? What do you think, Bharat? When we talk about growth of cricket in the subcontinent, this affects it immensely.
Not just growth of cricket in subcontinent, it will affect cricket in general because when you think about subcontinent, when you think about the full members, you're looking at Afghanistan, you're looking at India, you're looking at Sri Lanka, you're looking at Bangladesh, you're looking at Pakistan, and this all these countries except maybe Afghanistan, a little bit towards the Western Asia side, they all come in the subcontinent. And if three of the countries have such a bad relationship, then it will affect cricket in general. So these are not good days for cricket because, as I noted in one of the live shows before to you as well, that cricket has been used as a tool by various nations. And as it happens, cricket is very big in the subcontinental nations. Uh, Maybe somewhere else, if cricket was being played in a smaller nation, the government wouldn't really care, and that is why maybe X country might take on Y country in that hypothetical situation. But what is happening here is cricket is being used as a tool in relation to geopolitics, and that is why cricket is basically suffering. Not just in subcontinent, cricket will suffer in general because five of those nations come in Asia.
Absolutely. It's unfortunate when you think about cricket, but at the end of the day, it seems like Bangladesh will have, no option but to sort of come to India, play in India, because nothing has worked in their favor at all. Uh, Suggesting that they want to switch sides, switch groups with Ireland did not work at all. Suggesting that they don't want to come hasn't worked at all. Or switching their venue from India to Sri Lanka has not worked either. So BCB at this point seems like they've got their back in the corner, and they will have to sort of come to India and play their game, unless they want to take the risk of pulling out of the World Cup, forfeit their points, and also get whatever monetary sanctions that will come with it. Now, there are some questions here in the comment section. Let's see. Shivam Kesri is asking, Namandhir should be given chance in T20Is. Too early for Namandhir to be fast tracked into the setup, Bharat, because there are already a lot of people warming the bench.
See, as I noted, in T20 cricket, India have a lot of depth. So, unfortunately, Namandir also has to wait, I think, for his chances. Yes, he's someone who is impressed, impressed or shown some promise in the few games that he's played. The IMI guy, the IMI player, but just like others, I think he has to just wait for his chance.
There's also a question on Akib Nabi. Still, I think it's a bit early for Akib Nabi, Bharat, because looking by the sheer volume of talent that you have still waiting in the lines, do you think someone like an Akib Nabi, will be fast tracked into the setup, especially international cricket?
But if he's fast tracked into the setup, at least in the playing 11, who will you drop? Because Arshdeep Singh has to play because alongside swing, he brings that left arm angle as well. And Akim Nabi is also swing bowler. In ODI cricket, the wide Kokabara swings for 2 overs. So in ODI cricket, it's very difficult for a swing bowler to come into the equation. In T20I cricket, he can play, maybe because in 4 overs, 2 overs of swing, then it kind of works. But again, India have so many players. Who will he replace? Because first of all, as Hardik Pandya, if you look at India's T20 lineup, obviously Hardik Pandya is your main all-rounder who hits the
Oh,
pitch quite hard.
yeah.
So he also will be one of the key players. And so when you have two, three all-rounders, it's very difficult to get someone like Akim Nabi in. So let us see what will happen.
All right. More questions here. Let's look at it. Surya Kumar Yadav should perform well. Form is not good. You think Surya Kumar Yadav is not thinking about that? Of course, Surya Kumar Yadav is thinking about that. It's been a long, long time since we've seen any sort of impact, a lot of impactful innings in a row consistently from Surya Kumar Yadav. Unfortunately, the last time I think we're getting one or two handful glimpses of brilliance from Surya Kumar Yadav. He's definitely not at this point the batter that we used to see, but this is his chance. This 5 match T20I series is his chance to come back into the form before the World Cup, because it is imperative. India cannot go into the World Cup with their captain as the weakest link of the team. It's just impossible. We've seen that happen back in the Asia Cup as well. Think about the Asia Cup final, because really that's where you everything is put into context. During that time as well, it was that one match where Abhishek Sharma did not get the runs on the scoreboard, and that's where India suffered. Tilak Verma and Shivam Dubey picked it up. They did it, but not every single match will you have a Hardik Pandya firing from down the order. Not every match will be saved by a Tilak Verma or a Shivam Dubey. So it's imperative that Abhishek Sharma, it's imperative that Surya Kumar Yadav comes back and his bat does the talking, because it's high time now. Bharat, I was talking about Surya Kumar Yadav's form here. Looking back on the past couple of serious tournaments that India has played, especially the Asia Cup World Cup, the Asia Cup, we know that looking back on it, it was Abhishek Sharma who did most of the run scoring. And in the match that mattered, of course, the final, when Abhishek Sharma did eventually go on to fail, it was a tough situation that India was in that final. If it wasn't for Tilak Verma and Shivam Dubey, India could have lost that one.
Yeah, India have a problem or two in their batting department because they have tended to depend on Abhishek Sharma at the top of the order. Yes, I understand Sanju Samson might come in and score some runs. He might do well, so that will help the Indian team because I think they need both their openers to fire because power play overs are very important. And then Surya Kumar Yadav's form is very much a concern. As a captain of the side, you would want your captain to fire on all cylinders. You want your captain to lead from the front, but as India are winning so many matches, you will obviously keep playing because you can't drop a winning captain. But this form is definitely a concern. And even Tilak Varma, for the matter, is a good player. He's a fine player, but against spinners at times he can get stuck. So on a slow pitch, who knows if India get a slow pitch somewhere in the T20 World Cup, Tilak Varma is playing. Who knows, he might get stuck a little bit against spin bowling. So India have issues right through their batting lineup. This is their bowling attack, I think, that makes them the real favorites to win the T20 World Cup.
Of course, and while we will keep talking about the India versus New Zealand game, breaking news: ICC has upheld the current match schedule for the men's T20 World Cup, which means that Bangladesh or the ICC have not listened or bowed down to BCB's demands. This is what the entire message says. The International Cricket Council has confirmed the ICC Men's T20 World Cup 2026 will proceed as scheduled, with Bangladesh's matches to be played in India. So that's the confirmation there. The decision was taken following an ICC board meeting on Wednesday via video conference, which was convened to discuss the way forward. For BCB had asked that its matches be moved out of India to Sri Lanka. This decision was reached after considering all security assessments conducted, including independent reviews, all of which indicated that there was no threat to Bangladesh players, media persons, officials, and even fans at any tournament venues in India. It was noted that it was not feasible to make the changes so close to the tournament, and that altering the schedule under the circumstances in the absence of any credible security threat could set a precedent that would jeopardize the sanctity of future ICC events and undermine its neutrality as a global governing body. The ICC management also engaged in a series of correspondences and meetings with the BCB in a bid to resolve the impasse. Uh, An ICC spokesperson's statement in relation to this to the decision read, over the past several weeks, ICC has engaged with BCB in constructive dialogue with clear objective of Bangladesh's participation in the tournament. Okay. Despite these efforts, BCB has maintained its position, repeatedly linking its participation in the tournament to a single isolated and unrelated development concerning one of its players' involvement in a domestic league. So this is ICC has absolutely cleared up the air with this statement. This linkage has no bearing on the tournament's security framework or the conditions governing participation in the ICC T20 World Cup. ICC remains committed to acting in good faith, upholding consistent standards and safeguarding the collective interest of uh, the global game. Bharat, quite a harsh statement out there by the ICC. They've made everything very clear. They've talked about Mustafizur Rahman. They've talked about the IPL issue that happened with KKR, and obviously have clearly said that even with an independent review, there's no security threat in India.
I guess they had no other choice because if ICC had allowed BCB to shift all those venues to shift their matches to Sri Lanka, then obviously it would have said something about ICC that they don't have any power, that they don't have any authority over the respective boards. That is what that would have been the narrative that would have come out if matches had been shifted over to Sri Lanka. So basically, ICC had to come out with a statement like that, had to come out with a very strong statement, which is what they have done. And that's good to see because otherwise ICC would have been in some trouble. Yes, I understand. See, even if I want to put my Pakistani hat or a Bangladeshi hat, from a Pakistani point of view, some extent I could still understand because somewhere if it had hypothetically happened in that way, because last year Operation Sindoor happened, India and Pakistan were very much on the or very much went on a war path for 2 3 days or 3 4 days. In those circumstances, if a country says we can't come out to India, maybe I can still agree. But with Bangladesh, not very sure what exactly is their excuse or what exactly they want to convey. Because even if you look at the threat situation, even if you look at what ICC have said, their independent investigation, it has come out that they said that the security concerns or security threat is very much on the lower side. So BCB don't have much going for them in that respect, and asking ICC to change the groups. Some other team playing in their group, current group, and for them to play instead of Ireland in another group, I don't think it really makes sense. I think finally, maybe just my hunch. It's just my hunch. This one, my gut feel is that Bangladesh would withdraw from this particular tournament because of the kind of sentiments that you're seeing in that particular country.
It's now that I'm looking at it, it's clearly very harsh, because you look at the kind of language that the ICC has used. It's not neutral in the sense that they are not taking sides, but they have also, it seems like they have taken offense to the kind of drama that was being put forward by the BCB. Obviously, they have also clearly stated that there was an independent review done, there was threat assessments done, and that they have not found anything. They have clearly, uh, that link that BCB made with Mustafizur Rahman and the security issues overnight that sort of cropped up overnight. There is no linkage there. ICC has, I think this is one of the very strong sort of statements that could have come out of the ICC. And obviously, I think they're not wrong at all when they say that they need to maintain the sanctity of the
Yeah,
governing body.
that's what they have to show their
Yeah,
authority at some point. Otherwise, it would seem like they're an event management company. I'm just putting in quotes. That's how it would feel like if they're not shown the authority today.
exactly. And if I were to read one more time, the main, I think, the main part of this statement, I think this is the one that we should focus on. And it says, despite the efforts. By efforts, ICC is talking about the conversation that they've tried to have with the BCB on trying to explain to them the logistical problems that the governing body would face if they were to move their matches to Sri Lanka and everything, and making them understand that there's no security threats. This is what the statement read, that despite these efforts, BCB maintained its position, repeatedly linking its participation in the tournament to a single, isolated, and unrelated development concerning one of its players' involvement in a domestic league. This linkage has no bearing on the tournament security framework or the conditions. Uh, I lost it for a second. Despite these efforts, repeatedly linking its participation in the tournament to a single, isolated, and unrelated development concerning one of its players' involvement in a domestic league, this linkage has no bearing on the tournament security framework or the conditions governing participation in the World Cup. Joining us here is Amit Shah. Amit, can you give us a bit of details? I've read the statement. We've spoken about how harsh it is, how stern ICC is with this statement. But tell us, give us more details on how this happened.
See, Gagi, it's but obvious because see, since last so many years, Bangladesh is coming to India. Bangladeshi players are playing in IPL. Now we can see in this recent series that Bangladeshi umpire has come. There is nothing unsafe in India, and this is entirely political gimmick which is Pakistanis played from last so many years. And we have seen that 2023 when Pakistan team has come here in India, they got the foolproof security either in Ahmedabad, which is the very high tense city, in Ahmedabad, in Hyderabad, in each and every southern city also. And that time, all the Pakistani players has praised that India is the best host nation. India has given up foolproof security to us. And not only BCCI, the Indian, I think Indian government and all the fans also give them a huge support. And now suddenly Bangladesh is playing this kind of a blame game with India. This is a completely mismatch with the Bangladesh cricket board. And I think Bangladesh have to face the heat now because ICC clearly they've said Jai Shah in the chairman of Jai Shah's ICC committee has already informed them earlier that if you doesn't want to play, then we will just forfeit your point. Otherwise, we can't shift your matches. Bangladesh just arm twisting ICC people that if you just interchange our group with Ireland or some other teams. But today there is a final ultimatum from ICC, and just thanks to all the cricket playing nations, all the cricket boards, they have just given, they have just supported to ICC that this kind of thing is not happen. I'm telling you one thing: if Bangladesh is playing this kind of a politics in future, none of the international team will travel to Bangladesh. They've just take an example from Pakistan. They've because Pakistan also faced it in past. So this eye-opening lesson for the Bangladesh. उनको यहाँ से सफर करना पड़ेगा अगर नहीं किया तो आने वाली चीजों के लिए तैयार रहे.
And Amit, we were also talking about the fact that even if BCB dares to pull out of this tournament, they don't have the means to make up for the points that they will lose, the kind of face that they will lose in international cricket. And number two, if there are any monetary sanctions, they will not be able to afford it. As simple as that.
Exactly. See, if we take the example in past, Pakistan is playing this kind of a gimmick. The certain number of share from ICC will take the harsh action against them because this is not any bilateral series. This is ICC event. If you are not playing ICC event, then ICC will put sanction on your participation amount and fees and everything, whatever they are getting, because you are just overruling ICC. See, India, very safe situation is there. Everyone is coming, everyone is playing in India. And if you see, this is the 16th session now of IPL. It's happening a couple of months after the couple of months. From first season to last 15 seasons, since last 15 years, all Bangladeshi players they are playing in this IPL. किसी को कोई तकलीफ नहीं हुई. They won't face any single problem. And right now, due to the the Bangladesh cricket boards and the political scenario is happening around Bangladesh, they are taking this kind of steps. I think this is really harsh. And अधूरे में पूरा मैं आपको ये बताऊं, Bangladeshi players, they are not happy. They are not happy with their government decision. They want to play, and be and I guess that our sources are saying that Bangladeshi, the ICC and the BCCI, the BCCI is giving them instruction, if you are not coming to play in ICC T20 World Cup right now, then we won't pick any Bangladeshi players in IPL and any kind of series, and we will just cut our relationship with Bangladesh Cricket Board in nearest future. That you know that last year India's tour of Bangladesh has been planned, but they postponed for this year. And according to the schedule, the India's bilateral tour is planned. But if the Bangladesh plays this kind of a gimmick, then there would be a problem. And see, lots of sponsorships are coming from India. Lots of sponsorship coming from the other countries when India is playing. Gargi, you also know that you were in Australia when we traveled last year. That time, if Indian team is traveling, there are a plenty of flow of money, sponsorship. They are coming with the Indian team, and that host cricket board get rich. They got lots of money. Uh, in past, Pakistan has faced the heat because none of the bilateral series was happening in Pakistan, and they are playing in a neutral venue. So Pakistan cricket board suffered from that kind of a money. But if Bangladesh is playing same kind of a thing, Bangladesh cricket ball will decline. Then that's sure.
Let's see. Let's see if we get Bangladesh or Scotland playing in the T20 World Cup. Honestly, if Scotland comes through after everything that BCB has been doing, it's good for them. It's good for them. They've earned their
They're
place.
very lucky. They didn't play well in the Euro qualifiers. You know that Jersey should be in, but obviously, as per ranking, Scotland will get in.
Absolutely. But okay, we'll look at the toss and the playing 11 and then end the show. So New Zealand has won the toss and chosen to bowl first. Here's the team. You've got Abhishek Sharma and Sanju Samson opening. You've got Ishan Kishan at number 3, as Surya Kumar Yadav confirmed yesterday. Number 4, Surya Kumar Yadav. Rinku Singh at number 5, listed in the team sheet. Okay. Shivam Dubey, sorry, Hardik Pandya, Shivam Dubey, Aksar Patel, Arshdeep Singh, Varun Chakravarti, and Jasprit Bumrah. I think this is pretty much the squad that we were talking about, Bharat. Uh, but yes, tell me about it. What are your first thoughts? First
Yeah, it's an
reaction?
expected playing 11. I guess we thought that Arshdeep will get in, and they rightly picked him. Yes, New Zealand obviously would have to bowl in the conditions that we have seen, and they've gone with Steve Robinson, Devon Conway, Ravindra. Interestingly, Matt Henry is not playing for New Zealand, so they have picked Kyle Jamieson. Maybe they just want to rest Matt Henry for a game or two. So hopefully it will be a good game. And yes, it is good to see Rinku Singh being listed at number 5. Though I'm still not sure whether he will come out to bat at number 5. Because I think they generally used him at number 7 as far as the batting order is concerned in the recent past.
All right, I'm also trying to take a look at the New Zealand playing 11. So you've got Tim Robinson, Devon Conway, Rachin Ravindra, Glenn Phillips, Mark Chapman, Daryl Mitchell, Mitchell Santner, Kristen Clark is making his T20I debut, Kyle Jamieson, Ish Sodhi, and Jacob Duffy. How is that looking to you, Bharat?
Yeah, I just noted about the point about Kyle Jamieson playing ahead of Matt Henry. Most likely, Matt Henry has been rested for 1 or 2 games. And the one thing to look at with New Zealand is they don't have either Seifert or Finn Allen. So that is where I think they lack that punch at the top of the order. Hopefully, they will. I think they will come back for the last 2 games, and that will hopefully help New Zealand to have that little bit of firepower. Otherwise, I think this is a team that should be beaten by this particular Indian team in this format. But New Zealand have tended to be a little bit of a bogey team for India, so who knows?
All right, then we'll take your leave with that. We have the playing 11 now. New Zealand won the toss and chose to bowl first. So you will see Abhishek Sharma and Sanju Samson stepping out in about 15 minutes from now. Thank you so much, Bharat, for joining. Thank you so much, Amit, as well, who came and gave us the updates on the BCB ICC situation. ICC has now refused to change its schedule. It's refused to change Bangladesh's games from India venue to Sri Lanka venue, and Bangladesh has one day to decide whether or not they want to play in the tournament or not. But thank you so much. We'll be back at the end of the game, so don't forget to join us then. Enjoy the game.